Micah, 4th chapter. Look. So, when you see, let's go back a little bit. I missed a little bit of something. I want to look at verse 3 of Micah, the 4th chapter. It says, and he shall judge among many people. That's MASHAYACH coming. We already read about this judgment, and I didn't read it all, but I read enough to let you know that he's going to tell them how he's going to torment them. And he's going to rule them with a rod of iron, which is the law. Without, he's going to beat them out. Without, he's going to, out of his mouth will come a sharp sword, and he's going to beat them down with a rod of iron by the law. And you look at Hebrews 4 and 12. See, that's what I want. Hebrews 4 and 12. Yeah. Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. Cut you this way, cut you that way. Piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joint and marrow, and is the discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. And the heart is the mind. But you see that word of the Most High. So he gonna be saying, hey, by the law, the word of the Most High, by the law, thou shalt not kill, murder, thou shalt not steal, you stole everything. He gonna tell them how they gonna torment them, and why he gonna do it. Can you imagine that? You know what he's getting ready to do to you, and you know that he's getting ready to tell you why he's gonna do it. Woo. Man, that's deep. That's real deep. That's really, really deep. Understand this. You know? And that's what we're looking at here when he says, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations, because they all the army, the navy, the marines, the air force will come against him, and they will rebuke them. It says, well, you want to see what's going to happen? Y'all know where I'm going. The 2nd Ezra 13. Y'all should know where I'm going. Y'all should be able to call it by now. 2nd Ezra 13 and 9 to 11. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war. But I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. Remember it all goes together, y'all. He gonna smite the nation, you know. Out of his mouth, he's gonna smite the nation. This will come out of his mouth. Out of his mouth will come flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. That's the army, the navy, the marines, the air forces of all nations, prepared to fight on MASHAYACH and burn them up. Hear that? And burn them up, every one. He ain't leaving none of them untouched. So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, because that's all the army, the navy, the marines, the air forces of all the nations, they prepared to fight on MASHAYACH. He says, so that upon a sudden of a innumerable multitude, nothing was to be received but only dust and smell of smoke. He said, when I saw this, I was afraid. Isaiah 34 and 2. Isaiah 34 and 2. That's why he said, hey, that's why whatever weapons left, they're going to beat them into sword. They're going to beat them into puny hooks, farming utensils. Remember what it said? We're going to read it again. Isaiah 34 and 2. For the indignation of the Most High is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. You can't get no clearer than that. Make it mean something different. His fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. It ain't going to be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. He have delivered them to the slaughter. Jump down to verse 7. For it is the day of the Most High, YAHAWASHI, vengeance, and the year of recompenses. Paybacks for the controversy of Zion, for the controversy of the 12 tribes of Israel. Better ask somebody. Thus said the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Micah 4 and 3. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations far off, all over the world. And they shall beat their swords in the plowshares. See, that swords is that ordinances that they have for war material and so forth, war weapons and so forth, in the plowshares, and their spears and the puny hooks. That's farm utensils. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. That's right, man. Understand, overstand this. So look at Isaiah if we can. Go to Isaiah, the 60th chapter. So it tells us that you got the job. Look at Isaiah 60 and verse 10. It says, and the sons of strangers, these other nations, outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, shall build up thy walls. They're going to be the builders. You know, they don't allow us to build many buildings anymore, right? So they know how to do it already, don't they? And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. And the Most High only said in Isaiah 14:1, the Most High will have mercy on Jacob, and yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined unto them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, because no more Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force. So you know, you can forget about government officials and police and all that. He just said, it's going to be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. So it says, verse 11, therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, including whatever they're going to be growing for us, puny hooks and so forth. That's for farming. Farming. That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, you know, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. That's in the kingdom. You see? Verse 14 say, the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. And they shall call thee the city of the Most High, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. You see? So, there it is. I mean, and it tells you in verse 18, violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation, punishment, authority, and thy gates praise. You see? So, this is what we're looking at. Going back to Micah 4:3. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off. All the nations around the world. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares. All their weapons going to be beating the plowshares. Ain't no more Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force at this time. We already read they're going to be dust and smell of smoke. And their spears and their puny hooks. You got to understand, it's going to be a galactical battle in the air and on the ground. So that everybody's going to be afraid. They're going to be scared. But just tell you, the remnant going to be fighting. The 12 tribes of Israel going to be fighting. Whoever it is that's left going to be frightened during this time. So that's why it tells you in Zechariah 8 and 22 and 23. Look what it says. Yeah. Zechariah 8, 22 and 23. It says, yeah. Many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Most High power of hosts in Jerusalem, among where we at, as we just read in Micah, the 4th chapter, and Isaiah the 2nd chapter. and to pray before the Most High. Thus said the Most High Power of Hosts, in those days it shall come to pass. It's a future prophecy that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages. You know, they speak different languages of the nations, of these other nations. When this happened, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew. So we're going to have garments on, saying, we will go with you. We're going to go with you. But we have heard that the Most High is with you. We're going to go with you because we know we done heard the Most High is with you. And what they going to be saying? That's why I tell you in Isaiah 41, they're going to be cleaving to the house of Jacob. I mean, come on, you got to understand. When y'all don't know all the, y'all probably can't imagine all the things that's written as far as the last days, but when you think about it, why I always teach about fearing the Most High. Be afraid, be scared of him. He's fire from his waist up and fire from his waist down, and we have offended him. So I went over Hosea 5 and 15, man. He said, I'm going to go to my place and we acknowledge our offense and seek his face. In our affliction, we're going to seek him early, man. Come on. We're going to be afflicted. It's going to be so... It's going to be martyrs, too. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, y'all. But it's all right. It's all right. Because we know what we're reading about is real. You just live your life to get there. I suggest anybody, you know, if anybody was up there saying, what can I do? I say, learn the laws of the Most High. Learn the laws of the Most High. You read from Genesis to Deuteronomy. You don't do it, I mean, you just said, you know, you're going to be a remnant of everybody. You know what I mean? And you got a chance to live in the righteous kingdom. And you know she's going to die, and Israel says it's going to be forever and ever and ever. You know what I mean? But you dying now anyway. You're going to live a life in the righteous kingdom. You know? I mean, better than being tormented. Like he just said, you're going to tell them the trouble he get ready to do to them. This is what I'm getting ready to do to you. That's better than knowing what you get ready to go through, and then you're going to be, you're going to be cast into the lake, or you're going to be cast into the lake of fire. Come on. Where the worms never die and the fires never quench, you tormented continually 24/7. That's why it behooves anybody in my voice to try and do the best they can to hear what we say and learn the laws of the Most High and follow them. If not, then hey, you got hellfire coming to you. You got that judgment coming. You're gonna be part of. There's gonna be gotta be a remnant. Gotta have to be a remnant. When he said in Micah 4:3, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations. They want to rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords in the plowshares. This is farming utensils, and their spears in the puny hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation. This is the kingdom right here. Neither shall they learn war anymore, right? When that happens, you say, but they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Most High of hosts have spoken it. Ain't nobody gonna make us afraid anymore. You know, that's why we gotta be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. Now for the other people, verse 5, for all people will walk every one in the name of his God, his power, really believe in. And we will walk in the name of the Most High, our power, forever and ever. You see? So, it's going to take, that's why they're going to beat them with a rod of iron to make them get in order. Straight up. Everybody got to get in order. We got to get in order. We ain't in order. We ain't going to the kingdom in order. That's why we know in part and prophesying part. You got to bring that part that we don't know into a whole part. So what do you think? They going to get it? And they don't even want to learn now? It's going to be some that are. You know? I tell you, these other nations, they're gonna have to come back. They got to come, and they're gonna learn the way of the Most High. Well, he said, you know, if they don't, he said if they don't come to the Feast of Tabernacle, ain't gonna be no rain to them for them. Straight up, you know. That mean no blessing. They ain't not gonna be blessed. If you ain't blessed, you finished. That's in the kingdom. So now it says, so like I said, it's gonna take time for us to get the part that we don't know together to make it whole. You know, that's why it's gonna be 1,000 years of MASHAYACH reigning as he beating these nations, I mean, into subjection to be able to for them to do what they're gonna do. You think they're just gonna do it? He said, "The nation of the kingdom that will not serve, these shall perish. Yeah, they should be utterly wasted. They're gonna get rid of a lot of people." Micah 4:6. In that day, said the Most High, will I assemble her that hearted. See, he gonna assemble us. We the ones that hearted. We the 12 tribes of Israel. So that's what I said. I'm gonna take time to do that. Assemble us that hearted. And I will gather her that is driven out. That's the 12 tribes of Israel, gathering us back to the sheepfold, back to our homeland. And her that I have afflicted, you see. Because we broke his laws, what he said he's going to do. That's why he said what he said. In your affliction, in Hosea 5:15, you're going to seek me early. He said, and I will make her that harder a remnant. That's why when you look at Zechariah, a remnant, you're going to make that harder a remnant. Zechariah 13:8 and 9. Zechariah 13:8, you say, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Most High, 2 parts, that's 2/3. Well, you're saying 2/3, 2 parts. Therein shall be cut off and die. But the third shall be left therein. And there'll be none of these other nations. Gonna be a remnant of them. Somebody gotta fulfill what is written in here. To be servants and handmaids, to be working. Gonna be a change of the guard. Instead of the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, it's gonna be the IRS in the kingdom, Israelites receiving services. But it's gonna be forever and ever and ever. But it's gonna be in a righteous kingdom. I don't think people understand when I say it's gonna be in a righteous kingdom. That it's gonna be opposite of what the kingdoms that we in now, man. The world is polluted. I mean, I was looking at some footage, man, just plastic alone, man, just in the garbage that they put out in the sea. You look at it, they have oil spills, the fish coming on the shore dying, the birds all full of oil, killing off everything. Ain't gonna be like that in the kingdom, man. We talk about a righteous kingdom. You can't even imagine. I remember when they went to spy out the land of Israel, they said the grapes were so big, it took 2 men to carry 2 bundles of grapes, bushels of grapes, man. Grapes like watermelons. Come on. The staff, got a staff, the staff on your shoulder, a man up there in front of you with grapes, man, it's gonna be so, we can't even imagine. Everything over here is polluted. You can't, America ain't even send their food nowhere. Nobody wanna buy this food here, man. That's why we gotta pray over everything. Most of us say we're gonna drink poison and live. Hallelujah, Yah, for the Most High. Listen, anyway, back to the subject, but I digress. So it says, Zechariah 13, they say, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Most High, 2 parts, that's 2/3, therein shall be cut off and die. 2/3 of people gonna die, straight up, you know. But the third, that 1/3 shall be left therein. 1/3 gonna be left therein. And I will bring the third through the fire. Hear that? He gonna bring the third through the fire. He coupled with fire, y'all. And we'll refine them. We're gonna be refined as silver is refined. And we'll try them as gold is tried. That's why we gotta be dipped in the fiery furnace of affliction. You know, gotta be refined. He's shaping us, you know, into righteous people by the fire, which is the word. Remember we read Jeremiah 23:29. You know, spiritually, that's the word. And carnally, it's that fire that we done read about. That remnant that's going to be a frightened. He said, come up hither. You're going to be scared. Going to praise the Most High. Then that hour, you're going to see all that destruction happen. Plus, before that, you know, you're going to see, as look, Mark, you got to understand, boy. Let me finish this. It says, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is my power. Hallelujah. Yes. So, MASHAYACH told us, man, think about this. You know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this prophecy, ain't nothing I can do about it. And you either. None of us. In Matthew 24:21, and 22, he says, for then, in this world, in these last days, shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, to this time, no, nor ever shall be. I'm trying to figure out how can it be worse than killing everybody. But Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives, 8 people. But he says it's going to be worse than it ever have been in the world. No, nor ever shall be. Listen what he say. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Return again, he said, and except those days, these days we're living in now, why them want to kill everybody down to 500 million people? There's 8 billion people in the earth. And except those days that we're living in now, y'all, should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, of the 12 tribes, there's that 1/3 we just read about. And 144,000, 12,000 of each tribes of the nation of Israel that's going to come out of those, that 1/3. He said, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. You see? So that's why we got to look at this for what it is and understand, how are we dealing here, because people gonna be trying to find a way, and the way already been showed over and over and over and over again. And you know, it's gonna be some that of our people that's gonna be brought in that's still dealing with, you know, they could have qualities that the Most High say, hey, okay, you can make it. Look, going to the kingdom. Okay, look. Speaking of, go to 2 Ezra 13. Hold on. In the Apocrypha, go to 2 Ezra 13, and we're going to read verse 12 and 13. It says, afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. That's why that was a mountain. It wasn't a mountain. It was people. It was the 12 tribes of Israel. That the 10 tribes that we read about in verse oh, you got a page. Hold on. Page is gone. Let me get another pop. I think it's 41. I know it pretty much. I should know it by heart all these years. Verse 41, where it says that 10 tribes, those were the 10 tribes. Y'all, see, I've been used, y'all, so It ain't been abused, but it's been used. That's why I'm saying that page is gone. Anyway, I think I can find it with one of these. I'm just going to read this part, then I'll just go to something else. 2 13 and 12. Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call to him